So, do you want to get the attention of Casey Neistat, Peter McKinnon, or some other really famous internet person that you probably have no business associating with? Well then watch this video. I'm going to show you exactly what to do and what not to do to get the attention of influencers that would normally be way out of your league. Check it out. Why yes, I am on top of a parking garage, and yes, it is starting to rain. Nice timing. Oh, hate it when that happens. All right, we're gonna do this somewhere else. See that right there? That was my old office. That was where I used to go every single day, suit and tie for 3 years. Kind of fun to come back every once in a while and look up at it and see just how far things have come. Okay, the first thing you need to realize if you're trying to get the attention of someone like Casey is that in all honesty, you're probably not. There are thousands of people vying for his attention every single day, and the vast majority of them will never get anything more than maybe a Twitter response. It's just the nature of the situation. But there's a select few people that have the passion, the ability, and the desire to break through and actually get his attention, and that's what we're talking about today. So over the last couple weeks, Casey announced his new daily vlog, 368. And there's a guy named Jack Conte, who's the founder of Patreon, that filmed a video just for Casey all about a big idea he had for the new venture.
I've got an idea, and I want to talk to you.
And it went viral. I mean, totally insane, almost 1 million views, and it got Casey's attention. In the video, he said, "I've already bought a plane ticket to New York." That's super loud and obnoxious. Why is that happening right now? He said, "I already bought a plane ticket to New York.
I already bought my plane ticket.
I will be there on Thursday. Respond yes if you're willing to get together." And lo and behold, he actually said yes. They got together and talked about this big idea. Now, you want to know why that video was so successful? Well, here's why I believe it was successful. First off, there are 3 parties. There's 3 people involved in this. There's Jack, there's Casey, and then there's Jack's audience, all the people that are gonna be watching the video. And Jack, even though he did have a personal goal, he wanted to get in touch, he didn't worry about himself personally. He specifically found a major reason to help Casey, and he did it in a way that is potentially gonna help everybody in his audience. So that's tip number 1. That's the key thing. Don't make it about yourself. Never make it about yourself. We've all heard the advice that if you want to get the attention of someone successful, you need to figure out how you can help them. The problem is, most people, they do this kind of fake thing where it's like, oh yeah, I'll promote you to my audience of 100 people if you promote me to your audience of 9 million. So often when people do that, it's disingenuous and they don't actually have anything of value to add. Fortunately, Jack did, and that's why Casey's paying attention. The other part of that is he's helping his audience. He's trying to find ways for creators to make money. As the founder and CEO of Patreon, that's what they do. They help people make money. So all of these users, all of these people that are following Jack, they want to see this be a success too, because it has the potential to actually put dollars in their pocket. So you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna share it. They're gonna make that thing go viral. And in this case, those 2 things, finding something Casey actually wanted help with and appealing to his core audience, led to a viral video and a meeting with the man himself. The second video I've seen that successfully got Casey Neistat's attention was from Sara Diestchy.
Mealtime is a key component of the Casey Neistat vlog.
She went from 4,000 YouTube subscribers to 40,000 in one day, all because she was able to get Casey's attention. So, how'd she do it?
Casey Neistat skates everywhere. You gotta be able to skate.
Well, similar to Jack, she played off what her audience wanted. At the time, Casey was blowing up. He was getting hundreds, if not thousands, of new subscribers a day, and people wanted to know, who is this guy? Why is he getting so many subscribers? How is he vlogging the way that he does? And Sara did a very funny and actually informative video on how to vlog like Casey Neistat. And you know what? It worked. So she played up to her audience, which is one of the reasons it went viral. But the reason it got his attention is because it was so flattering. She took the time to be thoughtful about every aspect of the video. She truly tried to make it just like Casey would have done it and included all of his little quirks and nuances. She showed that she paid attention and she spent the time to get those details right. So I don't care how big someone is, if you spend the time to do something extremely thoughtful and you do it extremely well, there's a very good shot you'll get a response of some kind. Alright, it was starting to get really wet and windy there for a second, so we're gonna finish this video up right here. So finally, let's look at this third video that didn't go viral in the same way that the other two did. It was called I Want to Run with Casey Neistat, and it was put together by actually a guy who's one of my favorite YouTubers, Levi Allen of Left Coast Life.
I'm gonna be ready.
Now, he's already got a successful channel. He's got like 50,000 subscribers. He does adventure videos, and the dude clearly knows what he's doing. So Levi, if you ever watch this, this is not a knock on you. I love your stuff, and I really do hope you reach your goal of getting to run with Casey. The problem with his video was the fact he didn't do the things that Jack and Sara did so well. They didn't necessarily do anything to help a broader audience, and more importantly, his video didn't do anything that was actually going to help Casey get what he wants. So when you're trying to get attention of these influencers, it's all about adding as much tangible value to the things they're working on and they're excited about. So I have no idea. I don't know. Casey could have already reached out to Levi privately and said, yeah, let's go for a run. We're gonna be in the same place at the same time, let's do it. And if that happens, then that's awesome. But for the purposes of this video, I think the reason that he wasn't successful in getting those hundreds of thousands and millions of views are simply because it was all about him rather than about his audience or rather than about Casey. So just to recap real quickly, if you're serious about trying to get the attention of someone like Casey Neistat, Peter McKinnon, some big YouTuber in whatever industry you're in, you've got to be prepared to put in the work. You've got to do something so good that they can't not pay attention. You've got to step it up. If you don't have the skills to put that kind of thing together, then spend months practicing it. If it's something on video, then get better at video. If it's a written piece, then get better at writing. If it's a podcast, well, I don't know, trying to get someone to listen to a long podcast might be a little bit more difficult. But you get the point. You gotta put in the effort and show that you're serious. And for the purposes of this video, I'm assuming you want to get in touch with this influencer to actually build a relationship with them, not just get their autograph or get a photo with him, because frankly, that's probably a lot easier. If you want to get his attention that way, go stand outside his office for 2 days, and I bet he'd be willing to take a photo with you. But in this video, I'm trying to help you to not only get their attention, but to actually establish a relationship and turn it into something that could be more meaningful and positive later on. So finally, to close this video, I want to give you just a few tips for how to reach out to that person that's maybe not the A-list celebrity. Maybe it's the person that's just a little bit farther down the line than you. Maybe it's a client that you're trying to get. So what are some tangible strategies for building relationships with those people that you actually have a legitimate shot of becoming friends with or working with? With Location Rebel, I've received literally thousands of emails over the last few years from people that most of the time, they just want something from me. And I've noticed a trend of different things that these people do that just immediately make me hit the delete button or the archive button or forward them to my community manager, Liz, to say, can you believe this guy? So for the rest of this video, I'm gonna give you 3 things you should not under any circumstances ever do when you're trying to get in touch with an influential person. So the first thing you never wanna do is use false flattery. This is something I've been seeing people do a ton lately. It's almost like they have the exact same template. So let me give you an example of an email that I just got this morning. Hi, editor. Doesn't even use my name. I hope you're well. I enjoyed reading one of your articles recently at locationrebel.com how to guest post. Doesn't mention the article specifically, just puts in a URL, which is totally a clue that this was just a mail merged email. I actually found you years ago when I was working in the sector and always find useful tips and resources for all sorts of questions. So very not specific. It's clear this person has sent this same email to probably dozens of people. Could I submit a topic for ideas that I think would be useful and engaging for your readers? So that's a really bad example because it wasn't even personalized, but I see people that will actually send personal emails, but they'll do this same thing. They'll say, I'm such a fan, I love this post, URL, and then they'll go on to ask for something. It's super transparent, and I can tell immediately that chances are you haven't spent any time on my website, you don't really know who I am, and you're just trying to get something from me. It might be a link back to your site, it might be trying to get me to promote something to your audience, whatever it is, it's super transparent. So just to clarify, flattery is totally fine. Just make sure that you're authentic with your flattery. Spend time on their YouTube channel or spend time on their website. Tell them about the things that have actually been meaningful to you and why they've been meaningful. And most importantly, in that first email, when you're trying to get in touch with them, don't ask for anything. Going back to what we talked about with Casey, if there's a way that you can provide real value to them, then do that and offer your help. But most of the time, the best way to get in touch with someone is over a longer period of time. So establish that relationship first, let them know that their content has been meaningful to you, and then take the relationship from there. So that basically actually leads us into our second point, which is don't send a cold ask email. Again, your first email, flatter them, be nice to them, introduce yourself, let them know why what they've done has been meaningful to you, and then leave it at that. From there, if you're actually trying to get their attention, and even if you do want something from them, then follow up through a variety of channels. So I think Twitter is a great way to do this. Retweet their stuff, answer their questions, engage with the stuff they're posting. There's likely a good chance you'll be able to get a response from them on Twitter. So then 2 weeks down the road, when maybe you send them another email to tell them you liked a recent post or ask us like a small question, they're already gonna have a sense of who you are, and it's not a totally cold email. The more time you can spend engaging them online, promoting their stuff, and just allowing them to understand who you are, the better the chances of building a real relationship down the line when you truly have something to ask for. And finally, the last thing is if you're serious, prove it. Take the same advice we used for getting the attention of Casey Neistat and do it for someone on a smaller level. You know, film that really in-depth, really high-quality video. Spend the time to create a compelling piece of content that's directly aimed at them. Spend an hour and think about 10 business ideas that they could implement in their business that might be beneficial that they might not have thought about before. Doing things like that is going to have a much greater impact on the random blogger who's got, 10,000 subscribers compared to the A-list that's got millions. So when you take the same concepts that you might have used to get the attention of someone like Casey, and you apply it to someone who's much smaller than they are, but still bigger than where you're at, that is when things start to work wonders. When people take the time to actually shoot a video for me, of course I'm gonna pay attention, of course I'm gonna give a response, because no one does that for me. People do that for people like Casey all the time, but for the average person, the average influencer online, most people aren't doing that. So go above and beyond, take it seriously, and put in the time to show that you're serious. And finally, one last tip for getting in touch with that A-lister is figure out who the people are around them. Who are the people in their inner circle? Because often they're just as interesting as they are and probably a lot easier to get in touch with. So see if you can build relationships with them first, see where that goes, and then use that as a jumping off point to get in touch with the person that you were initially wanting to get in touch with. All right, I hope you found this video for how to get in touch with influencers interesting. The bottom line is be authentic, put in the work, and figure out how you can actually help them. This afternoon, I'm taking off for Scottsdale for a quick 48-hour trip. Gonna go knock off another top 100 golf course. So really excited about that. Follow us on Instagram @LocationRebel if you wanna see some photos from the trip. But otherwise, we've got new videos every Thursday. If you liked this one, make sure to hit subscribe, give us a thumbs up, hit that notification bell thingy, and I will see you next Thursday. All right, see ya.